What's going on, everybody? I'm joined by the gent himself, Luke Trainer. We're near just 1 week away from fight night. How are you feeling going into that bout, buddy?
What is happening, brother? I am good, man. I'm feeling good. It's the best I've ever felt for a fight, physically, mentally. I'm ready for war. Yeah, I'm excited. Genuinely, I'm excited for this scrap.
Yeah, and we take a look at your pro career so far. 2019, it started, I believe it was in the Victoria Warehouse. You were able to win 3 fights in one night in a tournament, and then 2020 Bellator. So to have the progression and the success that you've had so far during your pro career, how does that feel for you?
Yeah, good. I obviously, getting signed to Bellator was life-changing, and it was amazing. It's not like it was given to me. I fought 3 savages in one night and won the contract. But I'll be honest, my career so far from COVID, thanks to the pandemic that put so many people out, it's kind of put a real halt on my career. I see people around me. My main training partner, Simeon Powell, he just went 7-0 in 1 year. I've had 3 fights in 3 years. So, the career so far has been super slow, but now life's back to normal. Balls are rolling. This is 2 fights in 1 year. It will be for me now. Next year, we're going to get a nice active 3 or 4 fights. So I'm ready to go now. Like it feels like the train is moving. It kind of felt a bit like I was halted for a while. But yeah, so it's weird. Good and bad things about my career so far, but I'm looking forward to what the future's going to bring.
Yeah, and going ahead of this fight, obviously, with UK MMA and the way that it's progressed at the moment, there'll be a lot of people who'll be looking at yourself, just for the sheer excitement of seeing another UK fighter on a big platform. But in terms of going into this fight, what was it that first interested you about the fight when you was first offered it? Or was it just one of those where you wanted to get in the cage and fight as soon as you could?
I'll be honest, all I wanted to do was fight Simon again. All I wanted to do was get the rematch and get that win. I had a horrible performance in that fight, and I know I can be better than that. So that was what I wanted at first. And then when I knew I wasn't going to get the rematch, I thought, cool, give me anyone to take. So they gave me Lucas Alsina. Super happy with the matchup. The guy's a savage. He comes from a K1 background. He's a vet in MMA. He's got 11 wins, 2 or 3 losses. Great striking, great body lock takedowns. He's a crafty vet. I'm gonna absolutely run through him, and then my reign can start again. I hit a speed bump, and now I'm back on track. And I'm ready to go, man. So I was just excited to get a matchup. It literally could have been any single soul. I was just happy to get another savage in front of me.
Yeah, and then you've already touched on some of the people that you're training around, but at the moment, I believe Titan Fight Gym, there's a lot of people around you, especially where you are at the moment for training. But to be around the sort of people that you are, the progression that they're making, whether they're amateurs or pros, what's that been like, having those people around you preparing for this fight?
I'm actually no longer with Titan. I've moved camps to Great Britain Top Team, GBTT, and they have even more savages. Simeon Powell moved with me, and a couple of the other guys, Stuart Austin, Mario, Louis, Bertie. Those guys moved over and went to a different squad. We're all still brothers in arms. I still talk to those guys, every single week. I still spar with some of those guys. But yeah, me and Sim moved over to Great Britain Top Team. And right now, brother, it's been the best decision of my career. We've got so many savages on the mat, guys like Nathaniel Wood, Dominic Woodin. That's just to name a few. We've got flipping 30 guys who are pros and amateurs, so I probably shouldn't have even tried to name any. But yeah, so it's a really good move. My training's ramped up. I've got a new boxing coach, Paul Day from Stevenage. Yeah, everything is good training-wise. I'm surrounded by savages. I've got a new lease of life on my training, and my mentality switched. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and then as you mentioned there with GB Top Team, obviously likes of Brad Pickett as well. I won't try and name the coaches the same way as the fighters. There's talent everywhere you're looking at, Jim.
Head coaches are Brad Pickett and Ashley Grimshaw. And then there's other coaches on the squad, but they're my 2 head coaches on the team. Both wealths of knowledge, Any question you need, they'll answer. And then obviously with Mickey Papas from Titan, I'm still so close with him. He's like another dad to me. It's just things didn't work out at Titan. The team split up for their own individual reasons, and we all had to go elsewhere. But me and Mickey are still super tight. I still coach at Titan. I still love all the boys at Titan. Just MMA wise, I needed to make a change.
Yeah, and now looking ahead, obviously we've spoken about getting this fight and that being 2 this year, and the next year being an active year. But if you could say where you're wanting to be inside of Bellator and what the goals are for 2023 and where you want to be at the end of it, what does that look like for yourself?
I'll be honest, my only goal next year is to get minimum 3 fights, ideally 4 fights. That is I don't care who they give me. They could give me the winner of Nemkov and Corey, or they could give me a Can who's 15-0. It does not matter. Regardless, I want to take 3 to 4 souls next year. I want to run through 3 to 4 opponents next year. That is my only goal for Bellator. I think to talk about getting any sort of strap, any sort of belt would be foolish coming off of the last fight. Once I get a good win on October 29th, once I finish this man inside the 3 rounds, then I can start talking about rankings and start talking about dropping into the top 5, the top 10, blah, blah, blah. But right now, I just need to finish people. I just need to rack up the fights, get good dominant finishes, and then my kind of work will speak for itself. But in terms of goals, that's it. I just want to fight.
Yeah, and then obviously, even now looking at this interview in terms of the mentality that you've took towards fighting, it's been a constant theme of having a brilliant outlook on fighting and then the improvement shown in every performance. But if there's one thing that you could look at now compared to even just starting your pro career, what would you say has been the big difference in mentality towards fighting from just starting your pro career?
It's a mentality. I don't know. Every camp, it seems to ramp up. My mental preparation seems to ramp up. I seem to add different things. Like this camp, I added a little bit of hypnotization sort of stuff, hypnotherapy. I added more film study, more visualization. So they're sort of changes I make, but I make changes every single camp. I want to add something. I don't necessarily take anything out, but I like to add something every single camp. So it's been just a steady progression each time. My last fight, I made a lot of mistakes, so I've had a huge window to change that. I've had a huge opportunity to put things into the scraps, but yeah, since turning pro, since being amateur, I've always tried to add things in. So I've just kept that progression. I've made sure that I've been consistent with that. So yeah, that would be the main. That's what I've done.
Yeah, and then we've already spoken a little bit about from the start of the pro career, but when you take a look at UK MMA as a whole now, obviously you're one of the fighters that are starting to reach the top of the level in the next couple of years. I'm sure it's somewhere where you'll be, but looking at it from even when you started to the progression of UK MMA as a whole, not just your own, what does that look like in terms of the scene and the way that it's progressed so quickly?
Yeah, we're shining, man. We're shining. You look at some of the shows. You look at some of the shows like Cage Warriors and Fight Star. Just the UK based shows. They're flipping. They're tremendous shows. They've got so much talent from the amateurs. The amateurs that we've got at GBT, flipping savages, man, savages. And they only train with pros. They only train with, just from Great Britain top team. We've got a guy we might have a guy who's 1-0 as an amateur, and he gets to do rounds with Nathaniel Wood. Like, it's and you have that in so many different gyms now. You go to Manchester top team, you go to flipping Renegade, you go to I don't even want to name because I get told off for not mentioning people, but the UK level now, from grassroots to high level promotions, it's leveling. Every single time you witness some of the fights, it just levels. So yeah, it's dope to see. And now we've got a UK champion, Leon. I think that shows that's going to be like the whole 1 minute mile or 5 minute mile thing, whatever it was, where one guy does it and all of a sudden it's a tangible goal, and it's like, oh cool, we don't have to be in America to win. We don't have to go to Brazil and do a training camp there and not speak any other languages. Like it's a tangible goal now because someone's done it. So shout out to Mr. Edwards for that. And yeah, man, I think guys from UK are going to start coming up more and more.
Yeah, and then the final thing from myself, if you could give a message to the Bellator fans and just Bellator in general about what's going to be happening in the next fight and what people can expect to see from yourself. I know a little bit about what they can expect, but for those that might not know yourself, what does that look like, buddy?
Listen, I'm going to finish this man inside of 3 rounds. If you want to make some real money, I'd bet on the first round. Whether that be knockout, TKO, or submission, I'm going to run through this, man. I am mentally prepared to die. I'm mentally prepared to kill in there, man. So this is the most violent I've ever felt. I'm going to finish this, man. That's what you can expect. Expect a war. Expect to scrap. This guy's a savage. So this isn't going to be an easy fight, but I'm going to finish him inside of 3 rounds.
Well, that is everything from me. Obviously, if you just want to take a moment to shout any sponsors, teammates, coaches, anything like that, obviously just feel free to go ahead, bud.
Listen, again, shout out Paul Day for making my hands crisp. GBT, thank you very much. All my sponsors, Vigorate, Go Fit Nutrition, My Body Therapy, everyone else who's helped me along the way. Thank you to my squad, my family, my brick, my loved ones. Yeah, thank you to everyone watching, everyone who didn't jump off the train after the last fight. Thank you. I'm going to show you why. And yeah, man, it's just spread that love, man. Life is good right now, brother. So fingers crossed. Oh, and also shout out to the Fostering Network. I'm doing a lot of work now I'm doing a lot more work with kids in care. I'm going to be starting up my own I can talk about it. I'm going to be starting up my own training regime for kids in care for vulnerable children. And if you want to get involved or if you want to learn anything about fostering, please come to me. So many children out there that need your help, and there's so many easy ways to help. So don't overthink it. Shoot me a message if you want to help someone who needs it, and we can get a cracking.
Yeah, brilliant to hear, buddy. So that is everything from myself. The Gent, you've got to keep your eye on him. Every fight, it's fireworks every time. I appreciate your time very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. I'll see you soon, all right, John?
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKickMMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.